I don't know. Is it really trash? I don't think it's trash. This is my little workbench though. I'm gonna use today. Today's trash day. So while I have the trash, little, no, not little, but while I have the trash can out here, I'm gonna use it as my little workbench. Today I'm updating the grips on my Hutch XL24. Talked about this bike before. I wound up with it through a bunch of trades. Don't remember if I kept the frame pad, if I have a frame pad. I don't think I have a frame pad. I think I just had these. I just put them on there so I don't lose them. But this is my Hutch XL24. It's not the original one from the 80s, obviously. But I've done a few things to it. I got this bike through for free, kind of for free. I mean, I do spend money on some of these bike builds I do to help out my friend. I get them parts that work, and you know, it's kind of how it is. It doesn't really matter if I get reimbursed or not. I'm just kind of helping out a buddy of mine. His name is Charles. His health is degraded a tiny bit. He can't ride anymore, but he loves BMX. He loves BMX bikes. So he'll, rather than take it to a bike shop and have them fix it, he, oh man, didn't even see that. I guess the tree got me yesterday. Sorry. He'll let me, because I love building them almost more than riding them. So he'll let me build them for him, and I've built him a couple on this channel. Like there's the 2 Skyways I did. He's got a Street Beat reissue. He's got a Skyway TA24 reissue. Both of those bikes have been delivered to him. He was super stoked. Poor guy though. He struggles with even just walking. I've known the man since early 90s. Me and him were both cars in a mini truck club. And and he's always been a really good friend. He's been there for me. My first marriage ended in disaster. He was there for me when that happened. He was there for me when my mom passed away. Like, I tried to be there for him. I've known him and his wife for decades. They've been solid friends, and probably some of the people that I've known the longest at this point. There's my little car. Anyway, so he gifted me with a GT. It's a 98 freestyle bike. I don't know if it was called a Performer still, but it was basically a mid-school freestyle bike. And I was like, oh, that's great, because I love GT. I'm a big fan of GT. So I wound up with that, and that was pretty neat. And the guy totally he's like, hey, what do you think of this bike? I'm like, well, I mean, it's pretty sweet, but I don't really, well, you better make room for it because it's yours. And I was like, oh. He messaged me that, and I was like, oh, crap. Well, then a couple months later, he's got a friend of his, a big-time collector that deals with bikes all the time, and he wanted that GT really bad, I guess, to match another GT that he had. So Charles was like, well, would you be interested in trading your GT for this Hutch? And so I see the Hutch, and the Hutch has these on it. It's got a really nice set of wheels. I switched out the seat and seat post, but I mean, these brakes, this is a pretty trick brake lever. I've heard of Bombshell, I never used their stuff, but these brakes are dialed. It's got a Hutch stem, Hutch bars, Hutch frame and fork, and I mean, now it has a genuine Hutch stealth post. It's got the Hutch seat post clamp that I added. Those profiles alone are at least $400 or $500, probably worth. I mean, that bike I traded was nowhere near as nice as this bike, in other words. And so I was like, oh. And he really wanted it bad, and so I said, okay. And this next thing I know, I've never owned a Hutch in my life. Rode with people that had them when I was a child, like our little neighborhood. Everybody had their little brand, you know, everybody did in the 80s. Like, you were a Skyway guy, you're a GT guy, you're a Haro guy, you're a Hutch guy. Here we were almost all GT guys. Actually, Kevin Hull used to live about a block, well, not a block, probably about a mile or two down the road. I ran into him at a rad event and got to tell him, you know, hey, you were my neighbor, because one of the kids used to get to hang out with him, and they would tell us about him. I still have the GT catalog I used to pick my bike, and he's on the front of it, so it's pretty great getting to meet him. But yeah, like I just, I didn't have Hutch money back then. I mean, my parents were kind enough to, my mom, really. I don't know about my dad, but whatever happened, they made my dream of owning a GT happen, and that's I've had that. The first one disappeared. Either it was pawned by my dad or stolen. I have no idea what happened to it. It just vanished one day. Second one, I got to replace that. Is still sitting in my garage. It's not 100% original, but I've salvaged about, I don't know, 90% of it. I mean, it's still frame, fork, bars. Still other stuff I kept that's sitting on it. I think the seat post is original. Seat post clamp is definitely original. It's got the Hutch donut as well, but it's got the original Hutch donut on it. I just always like these seat post clamps. Don't ask me why. I guess I like the way they look. But long story short, free bike. But I've switched out some parts. But now I've ridden it a couple times. I do not like these grips. I think they're mountain bike grips. It's pretty slick. I mean, they are lock-ons. But I'm just not a fan of this style. So I had a little extra money to spend, and so this is why we'll be replacing those with these. These are fantastic grips. I also wanted the flanges because this is kind of an old school looking bike, and I just don't like the way these look. I don't like the way they perform. I'm not a big fan of metal right here. That just, I don't know, man. I'm weird about my bikes, I guess, but there's just some things I don't like. I don't like metal bar ends, for example. I just feel like if you scrape the end of your bars that much and you have metal bar ends, they just turn into sharp weapons. And having landed on this part of the handlebar at least once and basically almost broken my ribs, or a rib, I don't know how you want to put it, but long story short, I don't want this to be a sharp weapon. I don't need this to be, like something I can impale myself on and it goes to, kills me. I don't need to die like that. So yeah. But that's what I'm gonna do. As you can see, I got my little tool things going on here. I'm not gonna make this video too long, but I did want to say a lot of different ways you can remove and put on grips. There's a lot of different ways. I know back in my childhood days, I didn't. This is what I use now. I've been using it for about 20 years now. 20-something years. 20-something years. Long time. What I used to use was hairspray. And we used hairspray a lot for that back in the day. I think it was just because it dried just like instantly. And when we looked at WD-40, we were like, well, that's a lubricant. We can't use that. Well, like, as you get older, you realize that WD-40 is, technically, I guess it's not really a lubricant, though. I mean, it is water-based. Does the job on squeaky door hinges and shit like that, but it's not really a lubricant. You're much better off like a silicone-based something or other. But this stuff is beautiful for doing grips. I mean, it doesn't dry instantly. It does take a little bit for them to get dry, but it's the best thing I've used for grips. I know people have used, they use airline and like inflate it and then pop the grip on. I know that's a thing. I mean, some people use water. To me, water dries so fast that it's like, just makes it a pain. I know some people will just muscle them on, and I'm like, there's lots of different ways to do it, but to me, this has always worked the best. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. The sucky thing is I gotta take these guys off, and I don't like these. I don't like dealing with them. And then I have the bar ends that are, I may just leave these bar ends on. I don't know. I think it'd be easier if I just take all of your stuff off and just start fresh. I like these bar ends. They're simple. They work. They just pop right in. Ain't gotta worry about it. I also like Odyssey makes par ends, P-A-R, but it's bar ends. Just play on words, but they're also pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, made a little progress. So this little guy, my first experience with these, oddly enough. So apparently, this locks on. So I've never worked with that before. So that's a new one. But yeah, that's gonna be taking that off. I feel like these bar ends are kind of backwards almost, because to me it would have made more sense to have this one, like this one, the screw is facing me, the front of the bike, and the brake lever's in front of it. So I don't know if it was possible to maybe have this over here, but I don't know. But yeah, let me keep fighting with this guy, see what happens, because this is totally different than what I'm used to. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, that was crazy. So I am not used to this at all, but you just tighten those collars on and slides on, slides off like nothing. And then it's weird. It's plastic inside of here. Sorry, plastic inside of there. And the grip's sitting on that, as opposed to it sitting on the bare metal of the handlebar, like what I'm used to with these more traditional grips. But that's pretty crazy. That means taking these off is a lot easier than I thought. But I have never experienced this kind of grip before. I swear, like, call me crazy, but it just, I know these are mountain bike grips pretty much. And I just feel like mountain bikes and road bikes technology is just so crazy advanced. Like, I just wish more of it would carry over. I know we're seeing disc brakes on bikes now, and I know there's Eclat makes carbon rims. So pretty stoked on some of that stuff. We have super light tubes now, and liners, and just some of that stuff's carrying over, but we just need more of it. Like, this is pretty trick. I would have probably kept these if they felt more like these, but I just don't like the way they feel, so they're going away. So I'm just gonna see if I can set this. There we go. Let's see if that works. Hello. Show you my little grip ritual. So we have our grip, and don't worry about that yet. This might make some of y'all cringe, but I promise it works. So we'll see what happens. Besides, who doesn't love the smell of WD-40 anyway? Sometimes you need to add a little more. That's what happened to me. I thought I'd soaked it pretty good, but I always get worried I'm going to put too much in it anyway. And there we go. And just like that, I've got a grip on. So next, that would have gone a lot smoother if I just put more WD-40 on it, by the way. and they're already like, they're moving a little bit towards where I added some, but this right here is already dry. So I kind of had to fight a little bit. I am thinking though, this is sticking off the end of the bar, and I'm guessing are a little bit longer, so we're gonna need to scoot this guy. See if I got that in the first try. Oh, too big. Oh, do you? I have to hit it again. Sometimes another good thing is to, if you lay the bike down, it gives you a little bit more leverage for pushing the grip, and also makes the WD-40 go down. So just get a little bit more in there. Go. That should make the rest of this pretty easy. So that's on there pretty good now. And oop, blocking the camera. So this is about where you want your grip at. See how it's right at the edge there, almost pulled down a little bit, but it'll work itself out once I put the bar end on. And if you're like me, you like to have the ODI showing, whatever. Yeah, I think these feel great already. So now I'm gonna get the bar end on and the other side done, and that should be everything. Well, there we go. Grip install is done. That one's probably a little crooked, but that's all right. Not too worried about it. I think I got the other one. This side went on, oops, way smoother, because I had enough WD-40 second time around to get that stuff on there. I mean, it is kind of a solvent, WD-40. So eventually, what could happen, because it's not 100% perfect method. Just want to let everybody know that I do know that. But I do know that it works for the lifetime of your grips. Sorry, just walking with a camera. And it does a really good job. I might fix that with popping it back out or something, I don't know. Because that's gonna drive me crazy. Especially since I got the other side like almost spot on. So you can see these just look way more, they look more appropriate, but they feel better. I don't know what people's grip preferences are. Grip preferences. But I love the ODIs. I rode them when I was younger. I rode a lot of Amy's and a lot of Oakleys. Unitrons are some of my favorite grips too. But these bikes, I tend to ride them for a lot longer, and I just feel like these grips over longer rides, further, I guess, whatever, they just feel better to me in the long term. So I've got this thing set up pretty nice. It feels pretty good now. Tiny bit dirty. I need to put some air in the tires. They're inflated. They're holding air, which is beautiful, but they are you know, over time how they drop. So, but that's gonna do it for me. It's gonna be probably one of my shorter videos. Got a lot of things going on with the new month. I mean, it's had a lot of interesting weather. It's rained a lot. You can see our yard is crazy. So I haven't really been able to go ride. I haven't been able to go skate much. It's just been kind of the grind, you know, going to work and trying to have some fun in the evenings, trying to make a life out of it, you know, even though we're still buried financially. But everybody in America is right now. So, and the people that aren't are very fortunate, and that's great. And maybe I can be one of those people someday. But right now, it's not the case. So it's all good. This is what we do. We buy inexpensive parts and do little baby upgrades to our bikes that we worked hard for free. And so yeah, it's definitely not trash. It's a really nice bike, and I still can't believe I own something like this. But I'm gonna fix this bar end and call it a day. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy beginning of May. Tomorrow's May the 4th. So I was my wife surprised me on Christmas with some awesome Star Wars Lego. So I'm going to probably build one of those tomorrow. I have R2-D2, I have the smaller Millennium Falcon, and I have the Star Wars logo, which I used to see in the stores all the time, and I just wouldn't buy it for myself because I didn't want to do it, because I'm, you know, over here paying bills and like, I don't want to buy anything. So my wife surprised me with all these things that I'd been eyeing, but just couldn't bring myself to buy for myself. So I have a difficult time shopping for myself, to be honest. It's just, I just feel like it just makes me feel bad when I do that. And it's crazy because if you have a job and you work hard every day and you know, you're busting your ass, even if you are, you know, neck deep in bills or whatever, just maybe it's not a bad idea to say that just get yourself something anyway. Go buy yourself a drink at Starbucks or whatever you do, or, you know, go out to eat with your wife, or I don't know, whatever it is that makes you happy, that kind of takes that stuff away for a little bit. If you can do it without, you know, being negative by the time your next check runs around, then I recommend to do it. I've managed to do things here and there, despite having to spend a lot on bills every month, just like everybody else. And there's a way to do it to where you can have somewhat of a normal life. You can't have an extravagant life. I'm not traveling to Europe every year or anywhere out of state for that matter. But we did get to go to the coast earlier in April to celebrate our anniversary. There's dozens of cheap hotels in Rockport that are way more than adequate, and Port A is only like 10 minutes away. So, you know, there's ways to do everything. So you don't even have to do just leave on a Friday. You could even come back Sunday or even Saturday if you just want to spend a night and be away from the house just get creative if you're struggling, because that's what we've done and it works. So anyway, I think that's enough. I'm going to sign out. I just hope everyone's doing well. You know, if you're religious, may God bless you. If you're not, maybe you'll find him someday. Just whatever works for you. And I hope everybody's doing well and safe. You know, you're not having any bad surprises from this new year. So far, so good here. And we're very blessed and very fortunate and very thankful and grateful for everybody that watches these little videos I put out or subscribes to my little channel. I save other people's videos in my playlists, by the way, things that I find when I'm doing research or just that I'd like to watch later or share with people who subscribe. So just take a second to take a look at some of these different playlists that I have and see if you can find anything you like. And if you have subscribed already, then you're just the coolest person in the world, and I'm so grateful for that. If you haven't, that'd be great. If you don't want to, if you're watching this video and you're like, who is this dude? What an idiot. That's fine too. I don't really care. I'm just putting stuff out there, try to help people. Maybe somebody just starting out doesn't know that you could use WD-40 safely on your grips and it will work great and you don't have to worry about it. Or maybe they don't know that you can even replace these, for all I know. Incidentally, the second one came off in like 2 seconds. Didn't realize all I had to do was loosen these guys and then slide it off. And so on the second one, I knew that, and just popped right off like 2 seconds. And it was probably the easiest things I've ever done with a bicycle, just short of looping this little thing around. So I got this bell during Christmas season. We were in Bernie, and we were at a church enjoying some Christmas lights and Christmas stuff. And they were giving these away, and I had it in my car for a while on the wipers. Then I moved it over to the turn signal, and I just keep it with me because it was me and my wife. It's a special memory. It was a beautiful time, so I just thought I'd cruise around with me, and I just keep it on this bike, just as like a bike bell. And eventually, I may just put it in my room or something. But yeah, that's why it's on here. It's a cool little memory. Just something fun. Yeah, I want to air up the tires on this thing, maybe go around the block or something, and I just wish everyone the best May 4th ever, the best 2026 ever. And I'm just very humbled and very grateful and very, very appreciative of everyone and everything that happens in this world, because even the bad stuff you learn from. So sometimes, it's I think there's a passage in the Bible, or maybe there's a famous saying, like basically it's like you're kind of like a piece of coal. It's being turned into a diamond when that stuff happens. So, just if anyone out there is struggling, needs some encouragement, just think of that. By the way, there's a crap ton of videos on YouTube for that kind of stuff too, if you're just looking for some positive words. I find a lot of things on here that are very encouraging, very positive. They actually kind of open my brain sometimes. So reach out if you ever want to talk about that stuff too. I'd love to talk about it with anybody. So I've helped a lot of people, to be honest, just outside of this channel. But I used to donate parts. I used to donate labor. I've built bikes for charities. I've done all kinds of stuff. So just know that when you're watching this channel, it's a dude coming from a good place, and not someone on here just trying to show off, trying to act like I know it all. Like I love BMX, I love bicycles, I love riding, I love the whole community, the whole thing, everything there is, no matter what you ride. If you're a trail monster, if you're a flatland badass, if you are just good at going fast on a smooth pavement, I don't know, whatever. Just if you're having fun riding bikes, that's the best thing ever, especially in this day and age when, especially it seems like a lot of people frown on people older, like, oh, you're over 30 and you're skateboarding? And it's just like, I'm over 50 and I'm skateboarding. I'm catching up to 60. And I guarantee you, 20 years from now, if I'm still here, I'll still be doing all this. So don't be ashamed. Just go out there, have fun. If you show up at the skate park and there's some just Billy badasses out there, then just watch them and study them. And if you can't do what they can do, just try and you'll figure it out. You can see the front of my house, street's chewed up now, but this is where I learned to ollie. This is where I learned everything. My dad built me little ramps here and there, and I know he hated it, but I didn't care. But he would help me, and so I learned how to fly off jump ramps. I learned everything just right out in front of my house by myself. Rodney had his little patch of concrete or whatever that he invented half of street skating with, if not 90% of street skating with, or at least all the flippy technical trips. So you can, if you want something bad enough, there's a way to do it. And I just hope that you're just sitting there going, oh God, the world's gonna end and everything sucks and I can't do anything. It's like, don't fall into that trap. Just turn everything into a positive and do what you can. And thank you so much for watching this. This bike is a gift and a blessing in itself, and I'm going to go enjoy it. And my grips are mostly dry now. I think this one's probably going to take a little bit longer. Oh, no, it doesn't. So this one's already dry. I think this one is too. So they're both dry. So look at that, 20 minutes, done. And so that's going to do it for me. My name's Randall. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or dislike, whatever you want to do. I just thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. And that's it for me. Thanks. Bye.